we're gonna create some of series of videos to do a comparison between some of service. We started before in last session with storage, and today we have very important point for a WAF, an Azure WAF service. So we have Azure WAF front door, and we have Azure WAF application gateway. And imagine if you work with a customer and we need to design based on hub spoke design, and you need to boot WAF, and somehow you have some of applications and you need to boot WAF. So where you will boot the WAF for application gateway or front door. So the secret here where you will boot it, the WAF, and where is the design. So you have to understand the Azure front door and Azure application gateway is a similar functionality, but as you mentioned, where, or the secret where you will apply the WAF. So if what you are using inside a VNet and inside a single regions, App Gateway will be the best. For multiple regions deployment or global routing, we can using Azure front door. And also you have to understand the point, it's a load balance. So we have normal load balance, we have front door, we have application gateway, but Azure front door and application gateway, you have, as I mentioned, similar functionality, which means it's in a layer 7 load balance. And also, as I mentioned, where the secret where you will apply the load balance. So Azure front door applies in WAF filters at edge locations. So if you have data centers and you have hub spoke, you cannot put it Azure front door inside VNet. You have to put it in edge locations. But App Gateway applied the filters when it enter in your VNet. So in this time you can use application gateway. So also we can use Azure front door in multiple deployment or global routing filters. While if you are using or what you're using inside VNet, you can use application gateway. From another side, it's for regionally or global. Front door, it's a global service, and application gateway is regional service. And when you can using Azure front door, it's load balance, as I mentioned. But you can use it in a scale unit or cluster or stamp unit across regions. While application gateway allow you to load balance between your VMs or containers in a scale unit also. Let's just drop some point related to Azure front door. Azure front door, it's work in, as I mentioned, in layer 7 and also have in layer 7. But using Azure front door in layer 7 using protocol, Anycast protocol, with split with TCP and Microsoft Global Network to improve your global connectivity. So based on your routing method, you can ensure that front door will route your client or your applications request the faster and the most available applications backend. So he will give you like a best routing and faster. So Azure front door provide a range of traffic routing method and back-end healthy monitoring. So options, you can use it to monitoring your traffic and your routing. It's similar scenario with traffic managers, which will be I hope it will be next session to differentiate between front door and traffic manager. So it will be very interesting. So we can also mention it's Azure front door. It's resilience to failure, included failure to an entry Azure regions. So how we can recap here? As you see here in architectures, we have a hub and spoke model, and as you see, Azure front door in edge area and application gateway in your VNet. So how we can recap the differentiate between Azure front door and the application gateway. Okay. Okay. So let's talk about the use case for application gateway, because as you mentioned here, as you see the architecture here, we have some of IIS, some of SQLs, and we have to put it load balance and the application gateway inside your VNet. So some of case we have, like we can four case we can say, or primary case use case we can use it application gateway. If your applications require session affinity, as an example, the client want to reach some back-end virtual machine. And also, if your web servers, we don't want to handle the SSL overhead, and you can require the SSL terminations at the gateway, we can use it application gateway. If your applications require multiple HTTP requests on your same TCP connection to be load balanced on the different back-end virtual machine, in this time we can use it application gateway. So also regional load balance with HTTPS as recommended traffic. If you try to point here Azure front door, as you see in our architecture, the main features what it can provide for Azure front door. Actually, Azure front door have a lot of features, but let's just concern in some features. One of perfect features, accelerate application perform. As you know, Azure Front Door ensures that your end user promptly connected to nearest front door. It's called point of presence, and also some of features like cookies based on session affinity, SSL terminations, app layer security, support IP version 4s with HTTP. But let's just mention here for application gateway, if we need to connections options or connectivity options, as you see here in architecture, it's in VMs and VMs in VNet. So this option we have, or VMs across VNets, cloud service, or hybrid connectivity to on-premise. So also we can use it with hybrid solutions, because some of questionnaire coming to me, we can use it with hybrid solution. Yes, we can use it with hybrid solutions in your environment, and also with, it's called external servers. So I think we are complete for differentiate between WAF front door or WAF application gateway, and I hope it's a useful session. Next times I will be explain or differentiate between Azure front door and traffic managers. And if you have any suggestions or any recommendation, please comment in this video. And see you. Thank you.